My family background. So I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada. My dad's a chef. My mom's a hairstylist. My sister actually just had a baby, not just, but she had a little baby girl. Her name is Brooklyn. She is a year and 6 months, so 18 months. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. Um, Little brother just graduated high school. His graduation gift, I bought him um, tickets to EDC, which is
Oh yeah.
Electric Daisy Carnival.
Is he a football player too?
No, my little brother's actually the rebel of the family. He's my height, my build, and he doesn't like playing sports.
Does he want to go to college?
He actually wants to be a barber.
Really?
Yeah. My mom, she was diagnosed with vertigo about 4 years ago, so she has like a chemical imbalance in her body or something along those lines. But it deals with your equilibrium, so if you stand for long periods of time, you get dizzy. So with her being a hairstylist, she has to sit down quite a bit. A few years later, after she was diagnosed with that, they actually found a small hole in her heart, so they went in and patched that up, and she's been okay ever since. So I mean, she used to do hair and nails, so now it's just hair, and she does it from home. Just it's makes things convenient, easier for her. With my niece, she's able to help her with babysitting and kind of fluctuate with her schedule a little bit.
I want to talk about your high school football career a little bit.
High school football career, I was actually kicked off the team. Not kicked off the team. I quit my first year I tried out. My coaches ended up convincing me to come back. I grew up. I was a skateboarder. I skateboarded for 10 years before even thinking about playing a sport. I quit the team, and they talked me to come back, and I came back, and I found that it was really stress relieving for me. I had a blast the first time doing it, and I stuck with it ever since. The second year I played, I had some great issues. The team was actually going to pull me up to go to varsity for the state finals, and I didn't have the grades to play. I wrestled for 4 years. Met some real great guys. Wrestled with some guys that went on to wrestle in college. Some of my closest friends back home in Vegas are actually guys that I wrestled with. I've spent countless hours with those guys, wrestling, and I've built a brotherhood with those guys that can never be broken.
So the more sports you played in high school, was football the one you really just had
Yeah,
that passion
the one that I knew was going to eventually pay my bills. I stuck with that one. So, yeah.
For college, so where'd you end up going to school?
I went to school at Boise State University. Everyone always remembers it as the university with the blue turf. We got the Smurf turf over there. I decided to go to school there because I had grew up in the big city, so I'd already experienced all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on my visits. I went to Arizona State, Texas Tech. I checked out UNLV, even though I wasn't going to go there. And I checked out Boise. I had a lot of fun on my visits, and Boise was really the only one where I didn't go out. I mean, I went on my recruiting trips, and everybody was all about going out after the game and doing this and doing that, and I was just like I've done that. Like, that's not fun to me anymore. I got to Boise. I went on my trip there, and I just had a blast there because it wasn't all about going out. The next day, you've got guys they're all meeting up, hanging out, going to campfires and camping, and they're all just like hanging out, having a blast. But nobody was nobody was drinking. It was a blast. I just had so much fun up there, and it was the small college town environment that I knew I wanted to go to. I was so tired of the big city that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Boise. This whole town shuts down on game day. That's where I want to be.
And what do you think your biggest adjustment personally was when you got onto the field at Boise State?
The biggest adjustment for me was just the speed of the game. I got to Boise, and those guys were flying. I was there with guys like Orlando Scandrick, who plays for the Cowboys. Kyle Wilson, who plays for the Jets. Who else was there? Ryan Clady, who plays for the Broncos. Like, I was going against guys and watching guys like Kyle and Orlando run around on the field, and it was just so fast. I thought we had fast guys in high school. No, these guys were blazing fast. Like, they had a lot of speed. And then I'm sitting there, like, pass rushing and run blocking against guys like Ryan Clady, who's been in the league for, what is it, like 7 or 8 years now, with Denver. So I definitely got to practice against the best, and I think it's helped me get to where I am today.
When did you realize that you wanted to be a professional football player?
I guess it never really hit me until like my second year or my third year of college. Like, I'm seeing guys getting drafted left and right, and friends from other schools that are going to college or going to NFL, and I'm just like, wow, like, this is crazy. Seeing guys get signed for this or drafted in this round, and I'm just like, I want a piece of that. Like, seeing guys getting drafted and seeing what round they're going in and how much they're getting paid, and I was like, you know what, I want a little piece of that. And I was like, you know what, maybe I can, maybe I got a chance. I sat down with my coach, and he kind of explained to me, like, this is what you need to do if you want to get there, and that's the ultimate prize, is to, you're playing college football, the ultimate prize would be to go to the NFL. But for me, it was a little different. I had an opportunity to leave after, a really big Fiesta Bowl win my junior year. It was one of my best years, and I didn't. I stayed. I didn't graduate yet. I wasn't leaving that university until I had my degree in hand.
So you got your degree. If you would have decided not to play in the NFL or gone professional, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
I would definitely be on the radio. I'm one of those guys that I've got a lot to say, and there may or may not be a lot of people to listen or that want to listen, but I'm going to say it anyway. I definitely see myself somewhere doing something with the radio, or everything being online as it is. I mean, I guess it would have some kind of blog. I don't know, something that makes me happy. I mean, that's not necessarily something that's got a lot of income with it. I mean, that's not what it's about. It's about happiness, and I'm okay with potentially making anywhere from 40,000 to whatever it may be. Like, I don't care. If I'm happy, I'm happy.
Talk about getting drafted. What was it like?
Rough.
What was your experience?
It was so rough. Like, just listening to reports and talking to people. I was projected, maybe second, maybe third. So I had a draft party for that. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, like, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna do this for mom, I'm gonna put her in her house, all that stuff. And then I'm at my draft party with all my friends. I had 100 people in this house, and it never happened. It didn't happen on my draft party night. It didn't end up happening until the 6th round. I think I was the 200 and something pick, and I was just like, whoa, ouch.
We're going to switch it over to now how you're playing on the Browns. Was it frustrating to play on a team that, consistently put up great defense but struggled offensively?
It's a little hard, but, I mean, you have to back your guys up no matter what. I mean, you're out there day in, day out with these guys, and you basically live together. I mean, you're at work. I mean, training camp, for instance. Like, I'm there from 8 a.m. until 10 o'clock at night. Like, that's a day. That's straight through. And you maybe get like an hour and a half nap in there. But other than that, you're grinding. You're with these guys all day long. During the season, you're with them. It's like a regular 9-to-5 job. But, I mean, like, it's a brotherhood. You can't sit here and break your guys down, or break the guys around you down. You got to pick them up. You have to do whatever it is you need to do to help them get on board or help them get back on that horse.
What was it like when you first started in the NFL in your first game? What was it like to get your first sack or interception?
Oh, man, my first sack was against Phillip Rivers. I wasn't even in the right spot that I was supposed to be in. I'm supposed to be on the left side of of the play, and I ended up on the right side, which is exactly where he had like ran into, and I was like, oh well, I'm gonna go ahead and take that. But yeah, I was out of position. I didn't do my job, but I got a sack, and I was like, you know what, I'll take it.
So anyone that follows like the Browns Instagram account, they probably notice that you're on there quite a bit. What do you like to do outside of football? You look like you volunteer a lot.
Yeah,
You're giving back to the community.
I'm
so
all over
much.
the place. Anytime we have events come up that have children involved, I'm usually there, because growing up in Vegas, we don't have any professional sports there. I grew up a Bulls fan and a Lakers fan, and Dad was a Lakers fan, a big Shaq guy. But I was an Eagles fan. I was just like, oh, this is weird. Like, I don't have any. We don't have any professional teams there, so I can kind of just pick whoever the hell I want. But I don't know. It was weird growing up as a kid and never meeting like real pro athletes. I've met some of the pro skateboarders in Vegas when they came in town for events, or met huge music artists out there. But never like a professional NBA player or like a professional NFL player. Like never, nothing like that. So I kind of wanted to give that back to another child, like who may never get a chance to meet a pro athlete. Like it's like, you know what? I want you to meet one. I never got a chance to, but you can. You never know. Like that may or may not change someone's life one day. I mean, they could be down in the dumps thinking like, oh, I've got nothing, and then meet this guy and like, oh, he turned his life around.
Right.
Why can't I?
If you were speaking to college athletes that wanted to go professional, what would your advice be to them?
Graduate first, for sure, because NFL does not last forever. It's not for long for a reason. I think the average career in the NFL is 3 years. I think it's like 3 to 5 years or something like that. It doesn't last forever. You have to have a backup plan. Have to. I mean, I've got so many things I want to do when I'm done playing. Like, I want to be a detective. I want to be a fireman. I want to have my own blog. Like, I want to be on the radio. Like, there's so many different ideas and so many different workshops the NFLPA has set up for guys, to fit their criteria for what they want to do when they're done playing. Just have a backup plan, so if you don't make it to the league, you're like, you know what, that's fine. I got this to do. I have my degree. I'm going to go do it.